I met some people yesterday, and I said, I have no agenda. I don't want nothing. I'm not asking for anything, and like that. But uh, I wrote this song. It's using the Spanish and English together, which was the object, is somewhat of a fusion, where it's either the Spanish words are in one phrase, and then you go, the next one is going to be in English. And anyway, it's just a simple song. Find your way, la vida. Find a way into open arms, la vida, love. No religion to take you home, no golden woman to hold your hand, no .gov to pay all your bills, no karma debts to hold the will. Light up like the sun, shine on. Living water, living water, living water. Find your own to give. Hold your own love life, live. Oh la 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 vida. Did you find your way home? Did you say don't stop me? Where is the bien vida? The bueno vida? Juan vida. Did you keep me in secret? Stop me from seeing? Being a seer? La vida, la vida. Te amo, te amo. Te apa, te apa, te apa. Knew you on La Vida. I made up the word te apa or new apa or apa something or other because I don't know what it is, but it sounds like Espanol, Spanish. So just a share of creating things without trying. You just make up a song, let's say, and you're actually creating a thing or reality. And that's true. We're creating or making our reality or remaking our reality over again, over and over again. Also, and you know, it's like my journey had one thing back in 1975, which is almost 50 years ago. I was doing all the search, reading, metaphysical whatevers, books, and studied, you know, lots and lots of stuff. And I went to a training, it was called, and in that training it was called EST, and was the end result was they said to us all after a weekend of sitting around talking or sitting, and they said, okay, here's the answer, this is it. And that's the answer, because there wasn't any answer, and that was actually a good thing to have gone through for that reason. Because, you know, instead of now thinking that I'm looking for something or there was an answer somewhere or a savior or any other thing, yeah, I get to release all that. That's a really good thing. You know, really great step. And okay, so it doesn't mean that you have to forget it all or that you have to drop everything that you're doing or family and friends and everything else or whatever. But yeah, that was that part of that trip. So um, 50 years on, writing songs sometimes about it and making up words. Not that need to make up words or anything else, but it's a revelation in that sense of trying to think if there's any more, or not trying to think, because there is no try, there's just do. And as Yoda has said, the great Yoda of Star Wars, and the little guy. Oh, it's amazing, yeah, isn't it? Wow. That's a good one they were talking about, the Real Far Country book.
You wrote that?
Yeah, you're talking about not necessarily remembering everything that we wrote or said, and I have that experience too. I read some of the things, I go, what the heck is this? You know, so some of it sounds really crazy and I don't even understand it myself.
And you wrote it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was me. And then there was another one that did make a lot of sense, but I didn't remember writing it. You know, there's others that were of a different ilk. I picked up a book. It's not with me, but it says something about the origins of the DNA and humanity, and a crash of a meteor 75 million years ago, or no, 75,000 years ago. There was a genocide event, or an extinction event, rather, they call them. And that's pretty much what I'm doing with this Star Rock story, is a creation myth, the same thing in another vein. It's all different points of view of what really happened, so none of them are exactly the truth or correct or any of that. But so the Star Rock crash came and wiped out almost everything, and then but it had some form of the living water and generated and created the life. We'll say, you know, the genetics as well as the life uh, being put into each of us. You know, maybe we were rocks and it did it that way or some other way, but there's definitely some relation that they say is scientific and mathematical and so forth. But again, doesn't matter, none of it, except for these metaphors to realize, okay, we've been here a long, long time and doing the same things over and over again, and you know, have the choice, bring it up to the real now. And so Val and I have been doing these trails here, and the one that went up the steep cliff with the young boys being our guides, so to speak, and protecting us also from danger in a way, making sure, and on the way up, and then over the hill to the prairie, to the steep cliff up to the prairie, which is really wide open, and this beautiful hidden lake that I sat next to. So we've got a trail there, and we've got another one that goes up this right towards the mountain, straight on towards this mountain I call the Golden Mountain, at the top end of this valley that we're in. It's really all a metaphoric thing. So Val and I were looking in the dump. It's actually plants and other types of woods and things like that that are being left by people, and then can be reused or turned into burn, and can be used. Actually, the burn can be used as carbon fuel, as a char, and that's what the people are doing with this dragon, it's called, a machine that can recycle, let's say, or char the carbon fuel and regenerate the soil. And that's what really all the farmers and such should be doing with all of their carbon, instead of just letting it go to waste. I mean, I'm going to say not necessarily should, but it's a more effective, holistic, and eternal is a good key word in that to do. Are we doing things that have effervescent and everlasting, or whatever terms we have for that? And are we treating our lives like we are in a neverland, or are we acting like it's temporary and nothing matters and we can kill everything and it's perfectly all right? In that sense, yeah, you could say that is true, but not necessarily a better way or a good way. So I've got that kind of thoughts about this. And so I'm thinking of, well, I wasn't really thinking of this, but in terms of the animals that we have, it's the same thing that I see a lot of horses here, and some of them are very well treated, and they have a good life, an active life, and they get ridden and other purposes, and they're beautiful. And then there's others that are also beautiful, but for the most part, or maybe not always beautiful, but they are just in the fields, and all they do all day is in this hot field all the time. And it doesn't look like they have a great deal of good food to nourish on either. Not that, you know, it's like that. It doesn't mean that they're better or worse than the others. But we're building trails that have something to do with or relate trail points along the way that could be used for the riders, and also the burros, which we found out are the really smart horses, and also the stronger ones, and a very good ride. And so where, Val has, if you don't mind me saying that he would like to get some burros.
Mules.
Another word for them. And we're calling our Sunrise Trail founder, hike leader, 20 Mule Team Borax Val. or 20 Mule Team Val, because he's a carrier and the water bearer, and although he doesn't drink any water, so I don't understand that one exactly, because I'm opposite. I like to have lots of liquids and carry them, even though it's a much heavier weight. So we're going to go up and do the final, maybe trail discovery, or at least the one for this turn, up the top of the mountain or near the top. And I heard there's gold in them there hills, and there's certainly gold on the New U Trail. I had a dream last night, and it was about being with some people that I'm with, kind of people I grew up with in high school and when I was young, males, friends, and they were sick in a way, even though they didn't see it exactly, but they were telling me to be careful and make sure you take your antibiotics. Even though they were in their houses and their or building, wherever, apartments is more like, but it was dirty, and there were bugs of some kind. So I've been warned about something. Maybe it's in going back to the East Coast, U.S. But also, I was kind of bringing something into them which maybe wasn't recognized, but it was some form of music related kind of idea. And that's really what we're also carrying with us where we go, and sharing that as much as can be allowed, and with no agenda, which is we're creating a kind of a life musical event every time. At least I'm getting myself with that, but it's not just musical. It's a life theater that we're recognizing. And hey, it can be anything. So how do you want to recognize it, and how do you want it to be? Or what would you like to share about it and give on it and have received about it all at the same time? I guess that's my quote for the day. Thank you, Val.
Thank you, Peter.
Okay.